Welcome to MarcusG.tv. I'm Chef Marcus Giuliano. I'm a chef on a mission. Today's mission is business. You never know who is actually in your seats at your restaurant or in your store or in your business. You never know who's really patronizing, do you, Jamie?
No, you don't.
Interesting story. Jamie and I were at a restaurant just 2 weeks ago, not even 2 weeks ago, and it was for a friend's anniversary. And since Jamie and I are the wine experts, the wine gurus, the one with the award-winning wine list at a restaurant, people always look for us to order the wine. So I saw a wine that I recognized because it's on our list. Great wine, a Notria Barbera. And I saw this on this wine list and I said, oh, this is excellent. It's a great crowd pleaser. It's an awesome Barbera, fun Barbera from California. It's a good value. It's $37. Now, Gregory Graziano is a great winemaker. He makes what's called Cal Italia wines, which means California wines with Italian influences. So besides this Barbera, he makes this delicious Dolcetto as well. Now, however, the Dolcetto was not on this wine list. Only the Barbera. It was a short wine list. It was one page. I looked at it. I saw it was on there. I ordered the Notria Barbera. Comes to the table. We taste it. I wasn't too hip on it as the four glasses are sitting there in front of everybody. I'm just saying this wine is not right. Nobody was really enjoying the wine. So I called the owner over and I said,
We barely drank it.
We barely drank it. We barely touched it. It was just, it wasn't what the wine is supposed to be. I've had the wine 20 times. I know the wine. I've had several vintages of it. So I called the owner over. And this is the proper way to handle wine returns in a restaurant. Because sometimes you're not familiar with wine. So I called over and I said, have you had this recently? Have you tasted this recently? He goes, oh yes, I have. I go, would you mind grabbing a glass and tasting it? I said, I think the bottle's off. And he immediately said, well, I'll get you a new bottle. I'll immediately get you something different. He didn't want to taste it, which, I gave him the opportunity to taste it because maybe we were wrong. I don't know. And he goes, well, I have their Dolcetto. And I'm thinking to myself, he has the Dolcetto, but it wasn't on the list. Now, keep in mind, these two wines cost the same. We buy these at the same price from our wholesaler. We sell them at my restaurant for $37 a bottle. He had this on the menu for $37 a bottle. The Dolcetto that he was bringing us was not on his menu. Not on his menu. So, brings over the Dolcetto drinking beautifully. It's great. So we drank the Dolcetto, we enjoyed the Dolcetto. At the end, when we got our bill, he took off the $37 bottle and charged us, these cost the same again, these bottles of wine cost the same from the wholesaler. They're exactly the same price. I buy them for years. He charged us $50 for this bottle. Now he had no idea that I have a restaurant. He has no idea that I know as much as I do about wine. He has no idea that I know that they cost the same price. What he did was he covered both bottles by charging us $50. He had no idea who I was. And this is the point I'm trying to make. You never know who is really sitting at your tables eating. So now, I have a bad taste because of this. I have a terrible taste because of this. I feel that I got ripped off. I felt that
we were taken advantage.
We were taken advantage of. He could have easily saved that bottle and gotten credit from his distributor, which he probably did anyway. Maybe, I'm not sure. Because if a bottle's bad, you do get credit sometimes if it's within a certain time frame, and certain vendors will work with you. And I know this vendor, this wholesaler will definitely work with him. And if it's a bad bottle, the sales rep will bring another bottle. But just I feel like I was totally ripped off. And this is a restaurant that's maybe a half an hour from us. It's not a restaurant I've gone to it once or twice before. And I got to tell you something. I won't want to go back to that restaurant. And it just left such a bad taste in my mouth that I had to just make a video on this. Now, I'm not disclosing who the restaurant is, but it's pathetic to think that a business owner is willing just to take advantage of people that he thinks are uneducated. He has, again, no idea who we are. You've got to be extremely careful when people are sitting at your tables of who they are and what you're going to say. A lot of us like to come out, especially chefs and restaurant owners, we like to come out, with our attitudes and, being all like, well, if you don't like this and this and, and like be like sometimes aggressive, because we get offended very easily as restaurant owners and chefs because this is our baby. The restaurants are are our baby, it's our passion, it's our life. And when somebody says, oh, your food sucks, or this isn't right, or you did this wrong, we immediately like put up like a front and like, you have to have thick skin to be in the restaurant industry. You have to listen to the guests. The guest just wants to be listened to, right? That's all the guest wants to do. And if you come up there and, with your attitude and your wall and being defensive, you have no idea who you're talking to. You have no clue. These people can become your best customers. They can be giving you referrals in business. You can end up catering a wedding for them because they referred you to somebody else. You really have to approach everything with an open mind, every situation with an open mind. So again, over a lousy $13, this guy covered both bottles, and I felt that I got severely ripped off when I know that he can easily get credit for it. That just leaves a bad taste in my mouth. Nobody else at the table knew that. I'm the only one that knew it. Out of 12 of us, I would have been the only one. And he's probably going to have nobody that ever comes into his restaurant that knows that.
But you never know who's sitting there.
But the point is, you never, ever, ever know who's sitting there. So, the moral of that is, Jamie?
Well, that is just do the right thing.
Do the right thing to everybody. Do the right thing to every guest. That's exactly what you have to do. Don't worry about the $13. Don't worry about the $10. Don't worry about the $20. Just take care of it. Just do it. The other night we had guests in here who waited 45 minutes. Now there's nothing wrong in my restaurant with waiting 45 minutes. That's average. Waiting 45 minutes for food to come out. So they probably had an appetizer and then their entrees came out. On a busy Friday, Saturday night, we allow 2 hours for a full turn. 2 hours. So they waited 45 minutes for 2 elk burgers, which for us, that's right on track. Appetizers and roll into entrees. We just don't produce food and throw make food appear magically, or we don't have food just sitting there hot, ready to go. So they were upset that they had to wait that long to begin with. I'm not to argue with them. They got their food, and because they waited, they were like, this is no good, this is no good. For the lousy few bucks that it cost me to do that, I comped the whole thing. Because I don't want them going online and writing a review, and this and that. It's not worth it to take money from them. They had an appetizer, and they had a drink. I comped everything, right? Just, you're not happy, you're unsatisfied, you send your food back. We have a 100% policy guarantee on food. You don't like it, I'm not charging you for it. So, but I comped everything, right? Just to avoid anything. And of course, later on, the next day they went on to Yelp and bashed me anyway on Yelp. So it's like one of those things where you don't know who today's customer is. You have no idea who today's guest is. And with social media, every guest has to be treated. You've got to understand the dynamic of every guest. You've got to understand that every guest can make their mark on your reputation. I'm Chef Marcus Giuliano. Thanks for watching this video. If you like my videos, please go to 50mistakes.com. That's my cyber coaching website for restaurants and really for any business. Go out there and get some free tips, some tricks, and leave your comments. Thanks for watching.